115,334. That is how many people jumped into the second alpha test of Project Cold War from the initial 65,000 in the Alpha 1. But I'm not really sure about the numbers about Alpha 1, they didn't really post anything. We're all looking for next evolution of tank combat, something fresh, something that isn't World of Tanks. And today, if you check Steam, you're lucky to hit 1,500 players playing at the same time. The newest release, full release of this game. And that's not just like minor fluctuations, it's like total collapse. We're promised something new, something fresh, but we've got basically a ghost town. So what really happened? Like, what is the cause? In this video, I'm gonna go over what this game is, what this game could have been, and I'm gonna use my super Batman level detective light Yagami powers to tell you exactly why this game failed. So, the decline actually started the moment they killed the identity of Project Cold War. And they did that by the most wargaming way possible, by forcing it into World of Tanks IP.
Why? 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 Why, oh God, fucking why?
They said that they want to build a bridge to bring more World of Tanks players into the game. But by doing so, they alienated everyone who was looking for something that is not World of Tanks, but still kinda reminding them of good old days of it. Because the amount of people that ditched World of Tanks is just much bigger than the amount of people actually playing it. And the people that are playing that game, or what is left of it, were not really interested in playing Project Cold War in the first place. So by doing so, they've lost one thing that made the alphas special. They lost the soul of it. So where did everything really go? It's not just like they changed the name and everything else is left the same. That way some players wouldn't really care about the name and just play anyway. But like, look at the content. Or rather, the lack of it in this current edition. Like, we are left with a grand total of 9 maps. I'm fairly sure World of Tanks had more on the release, and basically any other wargaming game had more maps on the release. With only new maps, actually new maps that are not copy-pasted, the ones from the alpha, are the new spaceport map, and the freshly released, quite literally like a week, old desert map that is not really that special. It's okay map, right? But like, we have less than 10 maps in a game built around grind and replayability. So that is quite literally a desert. It feels like the developers kinda gutted the game before it even launched. And don't even get me started about the amount of agents, because like, where did they go? Where are my favorite tanks? Where are the cool agents with unique mechanics? Like, where is this lady with a rail cannon gun? Where are they?
Where are they?
During the alpha we had a roster that felt like it was constantly growing. Every agent had like 2 to 3 tanks, and there were just so many of them. I mean, sure, some had just one, but let's not get into the details, right? Now it feels like they just threw them away just so they can add them later on, monetized, and I don't really feel like they should do that, because we just have so little that, well, after like after this first month of gameplay, I have every single agent. And I mean every single one, even the one from the special battle pass, that is a completely different topic. I'm like, I have every single agent, every single tank, and I just need to grind the upgrades for them. Like, really? It kind of feels hollow. Even the alphas were not even alphas where I had to get extra things faster. It was accelerated. I still grinded the things slower than in this current all-out game. It kind of feels like they stripped away all the depth that we have tested and left the bare minimum just to keep the game running. So they were readying up for the failure. And speaking about agents, let's just go over them a little bit, but what they did with this thing. So, everything is right now changed into having it all about abilities of the agent and not really about the skill issue of the player. Because when we played in alphas, I'm fairly sure you remember that agents like Jaeger were able to casually slap people for 2000, but if they did not really hit the critical shot, they basically did nothing. This allowed players to kinda one-shot couple tanks like HSTVL or other Leos, which in my opinion was actually pretty fun, because if you're built for damage, you're also glass cannon, so you're gonna explode yourself very easily. So it was something to pay for. And right now, to one-shot somebody, you need a combination of couple abilities and effects, and you need to also hit all of those. And usually you don't have them on cooldowns. It's weird. For Leo right now, to actually one-shot somebody, you need this upgrade, you need to hit this ability, and then you need your ultimate, because apparently every agent needs an ultimate now. And the ultimates have their own animations that people actually complained about a little bit. And the devs actually listened and they say that they're gonna be optional in the future. Which in my opinion is a wasted thing for balancing, because you could balance an agent around the fact that it has longer animation, but I digress. So they kind of toned down everything for absolutely no reason, because I find the more versatile roster a little bit more engaging. But what they also did is that they made the upgrades all about kind of little bit of making it preferable to your playstyle, but not really allowing you to switch it. What I mean is that in the alpha, there were kind of like two kinds of upgrades for Leo. I'm gonna use Leo as an example because that's one of my favorite tanks. So one set of upgrades for Leo were for like fast flanker playstyle, that you were supposed to be like, you know, fast shoot from the side, go back. You were making it so that your tank were much faster. It aimed faster when moving and stuff like that. And the other was built for sniper, so you had penalties for moving, for aiming when moving, but you had a much bigger advantage if you were stationary and aiming for longer distances. Shots over some distance were just better, right? And you get like critical hit on ammo rack or the engine, depending on what build you have. Right now, the upgrades are like, well, you want to use this kind of ammunition? Okay. Or you want your your ability to set a ball of fire, or you want it to mark and so basically just you're still gonna be a sniper regardless of what you upgrade or if you don't upgrade at all. And it's just which ability you want to kind of focus on. Ultimate, grappling, decoys. And I'm like, cool. Very versatile. Amazing. And they did the same thing with every single agent. And it's kind of infuriating that all of the builds are basically which ability you want to focus on instead of what kind of playstyle you want. And what do you want to alter about the agent to fit your bidding. So, like I've mentioned before, a week ago they've added a new update to the game, in which they released a new map, the Leo 2K, in 2 forms, and a new agent. So it's new content, sure, but well, they hit the Leo 2K in the alpha, and they barely changed it. They actually just added it an extra ability. Well, the agent got the passive and the ultimate, and that's kinda it. Like, I know they had the modules reward, the upgrades, stuff like that, but like, come on. Also, they added the new map that I think that they already had a year ago. And why do I think that? It's when you look a year ago at the post when they've announced the name change, the tragic incident. Look at the poster that they've had there. This dome is the exact same one from the new map. So is the desert. So it's a desert map with those domes. So I cannot believe that this dome being so identical to what we have right now in the new map was not just taken from the new map. It's my just theory, but come on. And also, why did they wait a month to actually release this? Like, they could have just slapped it with the new game as the first addition after like a week, or better, on the release day. We'll have more things to do, more interesting. But now they had to wait a month. What they also did in this update is that they fixed a lot of bugs that were annoying. They fixed the ledges, which for whatever reason were broken on the release, even though in alphas they were working pretty well. Like on the release, the ledges were on certain maps were working in such a way that if you just crossed a little bit too much, your tank were suddenly losing all the grip, sliding. You were not able to move back. Now it's better. Now it's working as intended. But for a month, we had a really tough time. And it also get a lot of quality of life improvements, like giving you a straight up way to tell what gave you the amount of XP from the battle, which is good. But at the same time, it broke the scoreboard that you cannot really preview right now with a hotkey. Like when I press it, it just flashes for like 1 frame or even less. And to actually check the scoreboard in the game, I have to like press escape and go to the scoreboard, press the map and go to the scoreboard. Why? I want to check up how I'm doing in the battle. So let's be real, like this kind of update isn't really fixing the game. It's just kind of like putting a band-aid over like a broken leg with bones sticking out. It's a little bit too little, too late. So the devs are trying. I see the patches, I see the effort to keep this 1,500 concurrent players happy. But well, you can polish, okay, let's say a rock. I don't want to say anything else. as much as you want, but it won't make it into a diamond. They focus too much for balancing the game for the mass market, and they kind of forgot that they had a really dedicated player base that gave them a lot of very good suggestions. Like in Alpha 2 we gave them over 9,000 posts with suggestions for balancing and future content. And they really did not listen. I mean, I don't want to go over the devs too much, because I'm fairly sure financial pressure from Wargaming's marketing team was the leverage there. I cannot believe that those devs were doing all of this on their own. So they kinda make sure that the player base that was really dedicated for the game, the over 100,000 players that showed up for Alpha 2, lost their interest. So I'm still gonna call this game Project Cold War, because that's the only game worth remembering. Not what we have right now. So, what do you guys think? Did you play the alphas? Do you feel the hollow nature of current roster map pool and the wasted potential? So, what do you guys think about this? Do you think the Wargaming did the same thing they always do, but this time from the get-go? Do you think this game has still a chance for redemption? Or do you think it's just let's enjoy it before they close down servers in a couple months? Let me know in the comments, and we'll see each other in another video. It's been Senpai Silent. See you next time.